So if you follow my channel for any length of time, you'll know that last year I owned a vintage 63 Strat. I'd been on a bit of a search for a vintage Strat and tried quite a few, and I think forced myself into buying one. There are great vintage guitars out there. The one I bought was a lovely guitar, but it never did what I wanted to do. And since then, since I sold that, I've been on the lookout for a masterbuilt Strat that has a rosewood fretboard. I've got two maple neck Strats that I love, and I really wanted to get something with a rosewood neck. It has a different feel, whether that's really a thing, a different sound, different feel, or if it's just in your mind. It doesn't really matter. As we know in guitar world, it's what you as the player feel and think that matters. So I've been on the lookout, and this is what I finally came across. Okay, let's take a closer look. To be honest, when John said it was going to be seafoam green, my heart sank a little bit because it's not a colour I would have really thought about, looking for really. But I'd made my mind up that the way it looked wasn't going to be the decider for me, unlike some decisions I've made in the past when buying a guitar. And when I first saw a picture, it took me a minute. It looked more sort of neon green in the photograph I saw. Then I saw some better pictures a few days later, and I just love the way the aging and colouring has been done on here. It's almost like you could say it's an aged white. It's gone yellowy. There's some really dark patches. Under the pick guard, it's like pristine. And overall, I actually really grown to love the look. I think Dale Wilson does the best, or one of the top few best sort of aging jobs in the whole custom shop. And I love the attention to detail. I mean, my Ron Thorne Masterbuilt, which is well aged, I've always loved that, but I think this is a step up, to be honest. This just feels, in the hand, it feels more real. So it wouldn't matter if this was, a disgusting colour that I absolutely hate, but actually really growing to like this. So I'm not too fussy when it comes to neck shapes. I've played almost everything, and I don't take long to get used to things. It's just, I don't know why. Maybe because I play with my thumb over the top. This has an Esquire C shape. It's not a massive neck. It's not a tiny neck. It's got a little bit of a taper from the headstock end this way. It gets a bit thinner and flatter. And it's got an overall really pleasant and comfortable shape for me. I can really attack the guitar. That's how I feel. And the best thing I can say about any neck, I'm not thinking about the neck when I'm playing. If you're thinking about the neck, it's probably because you're not comfortable. These pickups they sound great. I probably will change them because I tend to, but I will keep these in this pick guard, and I'm going to have several pick guards made up with various pickups and options that I can swap over. It's something I really enjoy doing, and we'll get different things out of this, and finally may find something that stays in there forever. But for now, these are chewy and big sounding, quite not too compressed. They just do what I really want. Now, what was interesting here, I asked John if he could pleck the guitar and set it up in a way that he set his up, because I really like that. So the bridge is flat to the body, it's decked. It has interesting string selection from Stringjoy. It's 11 to 58. The G string is a 19, and you can feel that extra sort of weight to it, but they're all a bit bigger than normal, which gives you that thicker tone. Today I've got it tuned down to D, because I adore that tone. I did a video a couple of years back about that Voodoo Child sound being tuned to D, and it's absolutely true. And the sort of rig that I set up today, well, recently I'm absolutely in love with this amp again. For Strats, the classic reverb just has that huge thing. It's the biggest sounding amp there is really for Strats, in my opinion. And the Dominion Fuzz just has a very, very vintage sound. I'm intrigued to try the same setup again, but with my fuzz face there, that Ivor one, which has a different type of transistors, but this just worked great. Blues Power with the glass or edge setting just gives you that Strat sound that I want. Analog Man delay gave it that sort of slightly spacey, Hendrixy feel. Recently I've sold quite a lot of stuff. I've sold a few guitars and a couple of amps, and really it was all leading towards this. I knew this guitar was going to come into Peach. John had told me before it came in, and he knew what I was looking for because I'd played his Dale Wilson Strat that I absolutely love. It's one of the best guitars I've ever played, probably the best Strat I'd ever played up until today. And I told him, when a Strat comes in that's as good as that, please let me know. And a few Wilsons and Van Trites and others had passed through, all cool guitars, just not exactly what I was looking for. I wanted something with quite a big bottom end, still with a glassy shimmery top, a little bit scooped, not too scooped, and a lot of powerful sort of feeling to it. This was it. I didn't mind about neck shape. I didn't mind what pickups were in there. I didn't mind about the colour. I didn't mind how relict or not it was. I just wanted to know that it would do a sound that I've been looking for. I'm not going to get into an argument today about what sort of prices these things fetch these days. Anyone who thinks it's a good price to pay for a guitar shouldn't go to the loony bin probably. But I knew what I wanted, and having sold a few bits, it was something I've been able to do. Personally, having played standard Strat, custom shop, and masterbuilt, if you find a good one of each of those, there will be a sort of incremental improvement in the feel, the way it plays. Even the tone, although that's really up to how you set things up. But I found personally that the best guitars I've played have been master-built. And that doesn't mean there aren't great non-master-built guitars out there. Of course there are. Lots of people making great music on those. But I don't want to get any further into that debate. I think it's a very well-flogged thing. So unsurprisingly, because I run this channel, I often get asked, who's your favorite guitarist? And in my heart of hearts, since I was a young kid listening to music, probably Jimi Hendrix is my favorite guitarist. There are lots of other guitar players that I love, old and new, from the Three Kings to Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimmy Page, all the way through to guys like Kirk Fletcher, Joey Landreth, people playing right now. But Jimi Hendrix, for me, set the tone of so many things in my life, actually. Seeing someone who could break out of one way of living into a completely different way. If you saw him playing in a tuxedo for Little Richard or whatever he was doing, and then appearing as a completely different person, but really as himself. And that's something that I've, taken to my heart really in my life. And I think I naturally play more like Hendrix. I don't mean that as in I play like Hendrix, but I play more he's unpredictable. He's on the edge, and he is not a perfect player, but he, in the sense that he will make mistakes because he's trying new things, or he's off his head, one or the other. But I love that slightly unpolished sound. I love the way he goes off on tangents, and I love the way he doesn't really just go where you expect. So this guitar for me, as soon as I picked it up, really, and I had a friend of mine earlier, and he picked it up and said the same as this is a Hendrixy Strat, not a Stevie Ray Vaughan Strat, if you can categorize them. So this is the guitar I've been looking for. Alongside some of the other guitars I love of completely different styles, like a Les Paul, a Flying V, Hendrixy, the SG, the Telecasters, all sorts of things, baritones and low tune guitars. I never stopped wanting something that I could feel like I was a young kid playing Hendrix, and always wanted that. So I will make some more content about it, I think, compared to my other two masterbuilt Strats in the near future, as well as probably doing an update video on a classic reverb signature type thing, comparing that to the Joey Landreth, comparing it to the TS1. I've had quite a few people ask me for that comparison, actually, and I'll do a three-way sort of shoot off. I want to do a video playing this Strat through the Rift Ainsley Lister, because I did that earlier and it was wonderful. Yeah. This guitar just makes me feel like I've sort of got to where I was looking for, really, and that hopefully I'll just continue to sort of dive deeper into playing the things that I love to. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this one. You're probably sick of hearing the same little bit of sort of voodoo child that I'm sort of imitating, playing and riffing off of here, but one more time, why not? And I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Yeah.